When hell freezes over.
All right, that's another movie. It happens somewhere around June. All right, so we hope everybody had a happy New Year, and my family's doing well. Update on Mom. She is doing well. She's starting her radiation treatments and stuff, and even the other day she went in for a radiation, and then she went to the gym with my sister, and so, you know, spirits are up and she's doing fine. So anyway, I'm back here doing videos, and the very first thing I think about at the beginning or change of the year is the Bar Z Summer Bash, and hence polishing the belt and engraving on the back of it and so on. Here again this year, I'm going to be sponsoring the Bar Z Summer Bash with my T-Nut slot scrapers, and I have created a new edition, limited edition 2019 T-Nut slot scraper, very similar to last year except for the 19 on here. And on the back, Stan has got a new logo for the Bar Z Summer Bash this year, and it's hashtag when hell freezes over. And then I added in a little she-devil. Alright, and I also found a trick there just here the other day on improving my finish on these as well. So I've been really happy there. I scrapped 50 of them and then redressed them and went through the treatment again and found a shortcut and better performance at the end. So I'm really happy about that. Last year I made just over 800 scrapers, and I shut it off a little bit. I got started late, and then I cut it off just before the summer bash there, because this is a limited edition, and I'll run them and I'll make them up until a couple weeks before the bash. And I'm going this year, so it may be held off at the beginning of June. So you want to get your orders in now. I'm making 300 for the bash, just like last year, and I'm also putting them on my website. And those of you that can't make it to the bash, or you want more than the one I'm giving you at the bash, you can order as many as you like. Some people put them on the shelf after they got them. They saw them, they put them on the shelf, and they wish they had two, one to use and one to keep on the shelf. Anyhow, I've got boxes of them started. I've already into a couple hundred of them. I also have my 4-jaw king belt scrapers, and those are also on the website. Okay, last year I shipped these free anywhere, or not free, included with the $12. I handled the shipping anywhere in the United States. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make that $13 shipped anywhere in the United States. And last year it took I think it was like $16.50 to $18.50 shipping for across the pond. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty close into the same thing. Last year you purchased them, and then I refunded the outrageous shipping that was being charged on there at the time period I set up the order to get ready to ship it to you, so that you didn't pay any more than you needed to for the shipping. Okay, the scrapers are going to be constantly made in between my other work here. So I've got a couple hundred under the belt right now going, and I'm going to be continually making these until I have the 300 for the bash, and then as the orders come, I'll just keep on making them. So I'll generally say that if it's in stock, they'll ship right out, and if not, then within a week or so, you should have one shipped out to you after you purchase it. And you'll see the notification by PayPal that it has been sent. All right, let's clear this area off and let's get started with our video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Turn Right Machine Works. My name is Keith, and we're in here starting on Buffy. Now we're going to completely dismantle this head and take it apart, but we're just going to start with a handle today, and we're going to be pulling up the handle. What we want is we want that spring pack in here. The spring pack, we have a brand new one to put in Buffy, but we're going to be taking this one out and we're going to go put it in Debbie. Yeah, Debbie is what we're going to call the Bridgeport that we have been running, and it was kind of named by my new buddy Jim. Jim and his friend Chris came over. They're making up these wheels and hubs, and I got to call him a buddy because he actually gave me this one with no scorecard. Now I've taken the wing bolt out that normally holds this, locks this into place here, because it interferes with my mounting plate back here. Now this spring really doesn't appear to be real strong, so it might be misadjusted, and but we'll be cleaning it up and we'll adjust it when we get in on Debbie. And I think he said something about Debbie does something, but and that's why he liked that name. He ripped off a guy's name or a dude's name for his Bridgeport, but I told him, I says, hey, but Bridgeport Mill, lathe, car, go-kart, bicycle, I gave them all girls' names. Got my hands on them, I'm playing with them, I'm not putting a dude's name on them. Okay, we have the book over here. It gives me the layout and the breakdown, or the exploded view of what's in here, and I see that there's a bolt here. I've had one of these apart and in here playing, or I should say dicking around with the spring in here. Might have even been in on Debbie when I first got her, because I knew the spring wasn't there and I was trying to do something, and I think I took that spring and somehow I took and created a hole in there for the bolt or the pin that's in here on the shaft to get a hold of, and I think that just pulls off of there like that. This is a real nice hub in here, and the one in on Debbie is really kind of chewed up there. We had a little bit of a issue of putting the first hub that Jim and Chris brought over, which was a little shorter. They made me a longer hub here to get by my digital readout, and you'll see that when we get in there. But for right now, we're going to replace this. Now you can see that this older one has only got 2 holes in here, and you got multiple holes in here for picking a location of tension. And this is the tool that they give you, and it's kind of just a wire bent up shape, but they do have a real nice sharp edge right there, and that's going to be able to go into the screw hole, and then I'll be able to relieve the pressure. And I think what we might even do, we might bring this up like this, something like that. Doesn't really matter if it's up there or not. What I see is a problem of where it's got to rest against here, going into that hole there, that I'm actually kind of covering up that hole right there. What I might actually do is, when I do get this off of here, is go ahead and put it in the super spacer and give it a 6-hole pattern. Alright, I may have to go get these screws. I might actually be able to get that out. We'll see. We'll actually see if there's actually spring tension on here now. Okay, there is. It's not very much, because I can actually hold it with my hand like this. So I don't really need this tool to take this off of here. But you can see how many times that went around. This tool helps you wind that on there. Alright. Okay, gonna have to get a flashlight to look in there, and I believe you can lift that off of that shaft, and you can pull this out of here without pulling the rest of the shaft off, just in case you need to get to this without tearing apart your whole mill head or the whole J head, to get that on and off. So let me get my flashlight so I can look in there and see if it isn't as simple as prying up on the screwdriver, possibly going in the opposite direction, because I believe there's a slot right there, depending on if this has been modified. Okay, I set up my little borescope and so we could get a good look in there, and you can see how the spring coils around, and you can see the tang that sticks out of the shaft. So you can see that there is a slot movement there, and I can see in on here that there is. And also I can see that if I brought it back this way here, positive pressure, like in the reverse of the pull, I could probably get my screwdriver. I'm going to get a smaller screwdriver, and we're going to pry that off of there. I think I can just lift it right off of there. Once we do that, we'll be able to pull the piece out. I'm really enjoying the Swiss screwdriver set that I was sent during the toolbox giveaways a few years back. I'm really enjoying them. Alright, I'm going to reach right in there, and I'm going to see if I can just get my screwdriver underneath that and see if I can pull that right off of there. There we go. Okay. Move my camera out of the way here. There we go. And this spring looks pretty good. See, this has got a fold over on it here, and this one here has got a pin that goes into here, and this spring is a little bent up in this area right here. So not sure what's up with it. Doesn't quite sit in there flush like this one does. It sits out a little bit. Oh, I guess you can push it in, okay. Nice. Okay, but I do think I'm going to go ahead and chuck that up, and I'll probably put the other 4 holes in here to make this a 6-hole pattern, and then I can adjust that rotation there. And we're going to check out the one that's in that one out there, and we'll see what's up with that. Okay, I'm going to set my light up here in the right position here to, there we go. I can see on my borescope that I got a good clear picture. Just before I picked up everything here, I look in here and I could see a chunk of steel. Looks like a piece of band. Might even be a piece of that strap. Got a couple good shots of it here while I was holding it, and pretty much looks like a piece of that banding material. And I would almost say that that radius right there is pretty close to the pin radius that's in there. And that may be why this thing is actually sitting out past his face, and that might be part of why this drags, unless it's laying over that way there. So I think that might be part of the reason why it's not quite functioning just right. It's locked in and it's not spinning, but it's not flush like this. And of course, if you're not flush, then you're holding it out about 60/16 of an inch right there. Okay, here we come into Debbie. Oh yeah, forgot about this box here. This just came in yesterday, and let me see. Let me get my knife in here. This thing is pretty darn heavy. I'm going to set that on over there. Oh yeah, yeah, we're going to need both hands for this one here. All right. We're going to drag and drop the box. Okay, there we go. All right. All right, that's a piece of iron. There's about just under 200 bucks, probably pretty close to 200 bucks with shipping right there. And this is for a project that has been around here probably ever since I was doing those axles for Nate, and the Rutland was getting rebuilt. Larry Noak has been very patient, and he just contacted me the other day, and you know, I'm known for getting her done. Okay, but this is one of those jobs that's get her done win. All right, so we're going to be building him a clapper box for his shaper, and basically the mount here that's going to hold everything. That's what this is for. So this will have a center hole and a pivot so it can angle back and forth, and it'll have a straight through pivot this way here for the clapper box. And I was hoping that maybe this would be enough material right here to be the clapper itself. If not, I have another piece that I knew that would be big enough on the shelf there. So anyhow, let's go ahead and set this off to the side. I just remembered it was sitting here on the table, and now I'm not sure how much of this I'll be bringing along with the video here, but we might have some shots of it. Okay, package slip fell out here. I did say ductile, but it's easy machine cast iron, 2.5 inches thick, 6 inches wide by 1 foot. Okay, I think we're ready to play with our project here on Debbie now. All right, now the handle, you notice actually this breaks off here, and this handle, you look, so much comes over there, and then it starts just going on its own weight. So the handle has its, you know, offset as far as weight and balance going, whereas the wheel is going to be 100%, especially if you have 3 spokes that are equally spaced, or 4 spokes, but when they're equally spaced. If you have a wheel where 3 of them are on one side, you're still going to have a little bit of an offset. All right, now you definitely know that there's no spring in this. Actually, well, there's probably a spring in there, but that spring is not connected to anything. All right, now this is a knockoff handle, whereas the one on Buffy was a better quality handle, and this actually shows quite a bit of wear on those pins. In fact, actually, let's bring this all the way back up here. That's why I usually keep that handle back there, but we're just going to put a little brake on here just so that right here, this is the normal, the pin is on the handle side, and these happen to be trashed on this side right here because that's where you normally start with, and then you're going down from there. It just depends. Sometimes you want to pull over the top, push. I find myself, sometimes I actually grab this here and I got my forearm like this and I get my leverage like that. I haven't resorted to the 3-foot aluminum pipe yet, but that's why I have the sibling right there, so I can drill real holes. All right, let's pull this out here. Lock that. All right. This hasn't been taken off in a while. All right. Not coming off like Buffy's did. All right. I'm going to go get my putty knife. That'll get back here pretty good. All right. This is not just any putty knife. This is a hide. Actually, it's extra thick on the blade and it has a nice taper here. So it actually can act like a wedge. See? And then it's thick enough it can almost be a pry bar as well. All right. We'll go ahead and get a heel bar in here now. There we go. All right. That was a little snug. And we're looking in there, and I can see a spring in there. I'm going to have to grab my flashlight and take a look in there. All right, we're looking in there pretty good right now. Now on this back side here, you can see the little nub that is down inside, and you can see that the spring is actually down. It appears to be down on it. Now I'm going to release the brake here, and it's going to want to drop. Okay, and you see the big spring. The big spring is just following that around. So the outside catch from the hub is disconnected from the spring. The spring is just kind of like peeling around in there. All right, so we're going to pull this off of here, slide it out of there, and we're going to see where it's broke loose from. Okay, we're going to pull these two screws out of here. Now you notice on here you get a backside view of how the travel dial is bolted, and this is just like the support that goes along the lathe bed or whatever. You have two that push and two, and these are pivoting washers that are underneath here, so that gives it that action like that. That's how you align your travel dials. All right, that screw looks like it's been beat on a little bit. All right, well, there was a little bit of spring pressure there, and we find that screw in the pile of chips. Okay, I just saw the key, the Woodruff key that was right here just fell down inside there, so I do have one piece in there. Okay, I don't know what it was caught on. There was some spring pressure there, but I don't really think it's... I'm going to get my little Swedish screwdriver. Okay, same as the other one there. We'll lift it. Okay, there we go. Now that Woodruff key I got to get out of this thing. There we go. Okay. And that key should be tighter in there, I would think. Oh, okay. Well, we're going to put it down here so we don't lose it. All right, and that pin looks pretty good. All right, now this thing is all way out of whack here. It does seem that is caught on there. Maybe it just wasn't wound tight enough, or it had already broke loose once. Kind of surprising. Maybe it just came loose. The slot looks pretty good in there. All right, let's put it on and we'll see if we can wind up. Come on. Okay, right there. Making sure, we want to make sure that we are. Okay, there we go. let's see if I can put in that screw right there. Let's just see if that doesn't help on the drop. I'm not sure what was going on with this thing, but we definitely have some pressure set there now, more than I know that we had on there. Okay. Let me get that one started in there. Okay, we don't have to have it super tight. We'll put the woodruff key in here. Oh, don't lose it in there, dingling. Okay. Okay, slight angle doesn't matter, but that should be tighter than that. I'm gonna have to hunt up a new woodruff key and get it to fit in there a little better. See what I was talking about right here, where those are broken down from the pin not quite going in there all the way. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Undo the brake. It has enough pressure, it doesn't want to fall on its own weight. Huh? Okay. Now its spring pressure wants to push it down. A little bit of smoke from the spring snapping. Okay, and make sure I got a hold of this time. Okay, this has broke loose from that outside. So my suspicion was right at the beginning there. I believe that has lost its pin hold right there. I can see it underneath there. Alright. We're going to go ahead and install the one we got off of Buffy into here and then set that up. We're going to go find our woodruff key set so we can get a better woodruff key in there. Alright, how many of you got a little box of secrets there? Actually, a whole bunch of boxes. This one happens to have woodruffs in it, and I have one with snap rings and set screws and all kinds of different things. Kind of neat little containers to keep miscellaneous stuff in there. And, whoop, there we go. I think we dropped the one that's going to be it. Alright, where'd my original one go? Alright. I think that's the one. Let's check that fit out. Okay, let's put this in here. And I like that. Okay, I went and found my little squeezers here. And I like that. This one has two ears on it that actually set the height of the shaft right there. It's pretty cool. Glad I got that little box with those goodies in there. Okay, now we took and sanded this face of the one that we got off of Buffy there, just so that that spring was kind of dressed off, so that this edge here wasn't sticking out any farther than the rest of it. And we blew it out. That all looks pretty good. I'm going to blow that out in there. Okay. All right, let's try to set this one up and wind this one on here. Okay. Get some light in there. Okay, right about there, and there we go. That popped right down on there. Okay, and now that really looks like it's stuck in there good. That went in with no effort. Well, I shouldn't say no effort, very little effort, right? Okay. Yeah, I know I said I was going to put in those 6 holes there, but for right now, I guess I just want to see if I can. I don't think we need to actually have. And we'll go one more. If that was just a little less bend in it, I wouldn't have to hold it so much, huh? Okay. Okay. Okay, all right. We did pretty good. We got more than we had on the other one. There we go. You got to add those old man noises in there. Seems like I've had more chuckles about that lately. Maybe because I'm noticing it more. Okay. That's good. We could have tapped that in with something else instead of our hand. There we are. We're optimists, so we're going to tighten it down because we believe that that's good. All right. Here's our handle. Okay, we probably have it wound too tight. We're feeling like it's at the end of the stroke and we have more to go. So we're going to take some of that out of there. Okay, we went in and got our Momo wheel and our wing bolt. The wing bolt goes into these 2 grooves right here, and it's set up from this face back the correct amount so that when this goes in, it actually wants to push this in because it's leading that taper. This one here has a lot of set marks where somebody's chewed it up. This collar here is not an excellent example to go by because of the way it's been treated in the past. All right. So, and of course, this is not a true balanced wheel. There we go. Tighten up the wing. Okay. It'll stay on there. Not that we're over here and we're not pulling on it and we're not... Okay. But all we're doing is we're trying to use it in here, and every once in a while, I mean, I'm right-handed, so I'm leaning over this way here. So if anything, I'm pulling it into it. All right. There's one thing that's nice. The thing is not falling on its own like the handle does. All right, and I don't have to run as much of that brake as I normally did. And we got full travel down, which is good. And I'm not worried about the thing taking off and falling down. Nothing worse than your drill spinning and going into your part in a non-location area. All right, now that we've kind of done the swap-a-roo, we had a hunch that this was failing, and it is the slot on the outside that's the, that's the failure on this. And then when it did spring, it went around and then actually went past it and then created a push. That's why it was wanting to push it down. So we're going to set this off to the side. We don't need to monkey with that. We got a new one that's going in that one. We've got the old one out of that one in this one. And we're ready to rock and roll. Okay, we're all set with that. Let's put our parts back in the bag here. We did test fit our spring pack here. Put it in this bag. And here's our other big bag. We'll put the tool in there. And we'll put that down underneath in our new parts. We got boxes and boxes of new parts for Buffy here. All right, and our components that we've been taking off, we're going to set them on the tray right here. Same thing with, we've already taken out our shaft that rotates the head, and there's a couple set screws that come in on the back side that will keep us from taking out anything. We had one that went into here, and so we have that sitting out there. There should be nothing holding us back now. We have our bore camera back here. I just kind of coiled up the lead there, and we'll be able to run this right on over here. And looking on the exploded view here, I think there's a snap ring this side of that little cog, and then the shaft should go out that way. All right, until next time, get her done.